All right, there we go. Think we're good. Okay, I've been trying something new out. Just tried it out today for streaming where I schedule it instead, but YouTube's weird, so it's like a separate thing when you want to schedule a stream. It's a separate like program. It's the same program, but it's a separate option. So I had to recreate all the stream information separately to schedule it, which is kind of dumb. I feel like you should just be able to schedule it straight from the regular thing, but whatever. So hopefully this works just as well as it should. Um, I don't know if this is gonna. I don't know. Whatever. What's up, everyone? How you doing? I didn't do a stream in August, so this is kind of the August stream, I guess. I'll probably do another one in September just to make up for the fact that I didn't do one in August. I didn't do one because I was really busy. I just didn't have a good time for it. And it's not really about what I can talk about either, because honestly, I'll do these half the time and I have nothing planned for it. I just do it and just you guys ask questions. That's usually how I do it, but sometimes there'll be a specific thing, like a purpose for it. And I might do one after the Disney Plus day next week because there'll probably be a lot to talk about after that, so that might be good for that. I don't know. You are almost at 25k subs. Do you plan on celebrating that milestone? I would love to. I don't know how to though. Like I would just probably think of just doing a live stream specifically focused around that, but I kind of wish I kind of want to do something better than that. I'll think about it. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I'll probably try to do some sort of a tribute video maybe, or maybe it should be saved for like 50k. I feel like 50k is a better milestone to do something like that for. I don't know. 25k is pretty huge though. I should still do something for it. I'm just not sure what yet. We'll see. I would find it interesting to be do like a tribute video where it's like a long montage type thing of like, I don't know, the best of moments or some shit. I don't know. I have to think about that. Sup, which coming out next year? Which, I'm assuming you're saying which movie coming out next year you're most excited for? John Wick 4, Mission Impossible 7, or Indiana Jones 5? I would say Indiana Jones 5, just because I have a nostalgic attachment to that franchise, whereas John Wick, I only saw the first 3 movies like the past year. I love them. I'm very excited for the 4th one, but I don't have that same nostalgia for it as I do for the first 4 Indiana Jones movies. Mission Impossible, I haven't even seen any of them except for the first one, which I literally watched like a couple days ago, which I'm gonna do that whole franchise on the channel. That's gonna be something that's gonna be going on the next few weeks, which is another thing I wanted to talk about in the stream. Is just like my kind of upcoming plans and such of what I want to do for this channel for the next few months, I guess. Like I've always said this, I'm not very good at planning things ahead of time because things always change, which is why I don't do a typical like a schedule for videos. Like I know a lot of YouTubers do that. They have like a specific schedule. They have like, you know, certain movies they're doing this week and the next week, and they plan it all out ahead of time. I don't do that because things always change, and I always come up with new ideas, or I'm like, oh no, this would work better here. And I don't want to do a schedule where I feel like I'm restricted to forcing myself to that exact schedule, because then I feel like I can't change it. And if I do change it, I have to let everyone know, or else people are going to be asking, well, where's this video? You said it was coming out this day and it's not out. And then I have to specify, you know, oh, this is what happened and all these things. And I really like just having this freedom of doing it when I want to do it. And I know a lot of people like schedules because they get to anticipate for it. And also for the own person that is doing the schedule, it kind of like makes it so they feel like they have to get it done by that day. So they're more motivated to get it done. I don't think I need that motivation specifically. Like I don't need to feel like I have to get it done by that day because I want to get it done anyways. So I don't think it's going to change how I do my videos that much anyways. It'll just kind of make problems because then I'll continuously be having new ideas and then I have to change up the schedule and it's a whole shit show. So that's why I don't do schedules. So it's hard for me to plan exactly what I'm going to do, but I can kind of give general ideas as to what I'm going to do. And I know Mission Impossible is a franchise I am doing currently, and I will be doing for the next probably 2 months. It'll probably take me 2 months to finish it because I'm not just going to do those movies. I'm going to do other in between as well. What's up, Keith? How you doing? Movie star quality, man. I hope so. Watching every night get colder. Oh, you're saying it's getting colder out, yeah. I'm okay with that until it hits December, and then right after December, I think January to March sucks. But I like the cold months like fall and December. I like that. But once you get to January, I hate it. I despise it until spring comes around, and then it's all good again. And that's not even the only reason I don't like January to March. January to March has so many other issues other than just the weather. You look at movies, how many good movies actually release in those months? It's very rare. You see like one or two sometimes come out in like January or like February, sometimes a couple in March, like the Batman came out this recent March this year. But it's very rare you'll see like the big blockbusters and the really good high quality movies coming out those couple months, especially January. Like movies just don't want to come out in January. I was so surprised Scream came out this January, because that's like known to be a month that you just don't release a new movie. I think it's mainly because it's right after Christmas, so the economy is usually a little bit down, so people are spending less money because they just got done with Christmas. It makes sense. So people maybe aren't going to be spending as much money, which is why even YouTube ad revenue, I don't make nearly as much in January as I would in like December, for example, which is why a lot of YouTubers take a break in January. January is the perfect month to take a break from YouTube if anyone's going to do it. Seen Spider-Man No Way Home yesterday with a fully packed theater. Every seat was taken. I was gonna go with my girlfriend, but I didn't. We decided not to. I don't know exactly why. Yeah, we just didn't feel like it, I guess. We were gonna though, and I don't know if it's worth it, because I saw some people say that there wasn't that many extra like scenes, and the only extra scenes that they weren't like the best scenes in the world. You could just watch them on YouTube anyways. But I don't know. I don't know how much longer it's going to be in theaters, so maybe we'll still go. I don't know. I did see one of them. I couldn't help myself. I saw it on TikTok and I was like, all right, I'll keep watching this one scene. And again, it wasn't that much. It was just one of the scenes that was already in the movie, just slightly different. You know what I mean? But if you really like the movie, I guess it's worth seeing again with just some extra clips. So I don't think it's a bad, I don't think it's a bad thing. You should watch Beast. Oh, that just came out, right? Maybe I will. I'm not sure. Remember me? I do remember you, actually. While you've been gone, I have rewatched The Walking Dead 2 times in prep for final episodes. While I've been gone? Where have I been? I don't even know. I mean, I did go on a trip a few weeks ago, but I wasn't really... I still was uploading during that trip, so I don't think I was too gone. Oh, maybe you mean while The Walking Dead's been gone, you've rewatched the show twice. I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited for the final episodes. I'm not rewatching it though, because I've seen the show so many times. It's like embedded in my mind. I just don't feel like I need to rewatch it. Maybe like season 11 I should rewatch because it's more recent. Have you thought of watching the TV show Banshee? I actually started it. I watched the first episode like a few weeks ago. I didn't watch the second though. So I just watched the first and I liked it a lot actually. But I'm not doing it for this channel just because it's not that popular. I haven't seen like anybody talking about it. I've heard some people talking about it and they do really like it, but it's not there's too many shows I'm watching and there's on the channel, and there's too many movies I want to do. There's just too much. There's no way I can possibly do every single show and movie that I ever want to watch on my channel, which is why I make the conscious decision to react to certain things and to watch other things on my own. It would just make no sense for me to try to do it for every single damn thing I do, It just wouldn't make sense. It would be a shit show. I would never get anything done, I would be still on like a show I started, like I would have to do like, I could probably do 3 shows at a time is my prediction. So if I only could watch 3 shows at a time and I can't extend it, then I just wouldn't be able to watch many shows, Especially because shows can be kind of long. What do you like most about the majors you are studying? If I recall, those are computer science and psychology. Yeah. So psychology, I think everything about the mind is incredibly important for like what makes a person themselves, because obviously it's all in the mind. I'm not a big like a believer of things outside of that. Like I don't believe there's like spiritual things affecting our psychology. I think it's all just on you and who you are. Obviously those things can affect you in terms of how you perceive them, but I'm not really a big believer in like those things necessarily affecting what you do in everyday life. And I think understanding the way your mind works and why you do certain things and why people act certain ways is really important. Not even just for like mental health. Like it doesn't even have to be that. It could literally be something like very simple. it could be, you know, mental disorders and stuff, the medical side of it, which I'm interested in, but it was also just the general things of like, even just like social psychology, like why do people do certain things? Why do people act this way? Why do people do anything? I think it's incredibly important to know that for, you know, society. And I don't think they put enough emphasis on it in a lot of things in life, because you look at college, like psych's so easy. Like I'm doing college, it's so damn easy. It's the easiest degree, one of the easiest degrees you can do. But that shouldn't be the case, considering it's a very important major. And they could, like, the topics aren't easy. The topics aren't. Like, if you really look at what it is about, it can be kind of complex, but they make it so easy. I don't know why. They just make it easy. The professors literally handhold us through everything. And I'm sitting there like, you could make this like a really hard class, but you just don't. And that's why it's not a very useful major, which is why you want to go to graduate school if you're going to, you know, major in it. You could do some stuff with it as just a major, but you, generally speaking, want to probably do a little bit more if you want to do something further with it. But I think it's really important, which is why I'm doing it in the first place. I do think it's interesting. For computer science, it's kind of a similar thing, but in a different way. I mean, technology is going to take over the world. I mean, it really is. You know, everything we do is with technology, and a big part of that is programming. Like, that's how technology works. Every piece of technology is programmed in some way. And that's what computer science is. It's all about the programming side of, you know, technology. So knowing that is incredibly important. Like, I'm not even doing that for the major because I'm probably just going to minor in it now. But just knowing how to program and everything, like, it's going to be incredibly important for most jobs you're going to do. You know, not every job, obviously. You go to, you know, your general job, it's not going to matter if you can program or not. But a lot of them will matter. Have you seen the show Paper Girls? I haven't. Any chance on reacting to the Riddick trilogy? I've never even heard of it, so I don't know. Watch The Black Phone? I already did in theaters, actually. I really enjoyed it. The actor who plays Negan is joining The Boys. Oh, I know that, yeah. I saw that, and that's really amazing because he's easily one of my favorite actors of all time. I do hope he plays a villain, though, because although, you know, I could see him in a hero role, he is one of those actors that I'd prefer to see him in a villainous role. I think he would kill a villainous role. You know, he would do incredible, especially in The Boys, you know. Which, by the way, we are halfway through The Boys now. I just watched season 2, episode 4 a few days ago, so we are officially halfway through the entire series. Well, as far as where the series is at currently. Chernobyl Diaries is a very good horror movie. Please react to it. I'll put on my list. Actually, that's something I was going to talk about, is upcoming reactions, what I'm going to be doing. I'll take a look at it in a little bit, and we'll look at things that are on my list that I could in the future do. I guess we could do that now. Why not? I'll read off the ones that I'm like planning to do soon. So I just did Mission Impossible, so like I said, we're gonna do the whole Mission Impossible trilogy. Shutter Island, Gladiator, I'm just gonna list them all off. Gladiator, Braveheart, Dawn of the Dead, the remake, the Zack Snyder remake. I don't know if I'll do the original one, but the Dawn of the Dead one's the one these are the ones that like got a lot of votes in different polls and such. Schindler's List, Scarface, Armageddon, V for Vendetta, which everyone's telling me to save V for Vendetta for November 5th, so maybe I'll just do that because apparently it's a November 5th movie. I don't know why that doesn't. I guess I'll know when I watch the movie, but I'll probably save it for that. Hacksaw Ridge, Edge of Tomorrow, Don't Breathe, 28 Weeks Later, which is just a sequel to 28 Days Later, which we just did. The Omen, Prisoners, Apocalypse Now, and also a couple of Patreon requests that I recently got that I'm definitely going to be doing for the channel. I know I'm going to do Parasite for the channel. That got requested. I'm going to be watching that in probably a couple days. And that I know is a really popular movie, so I'm definitely going to be doing a video for that. The Game from David Fincher was also requested, and I'll probably be... I'm not sure if that's a really popular movie or not, but if I really like it, maybe I'll do a video for it. So we'll see about that. And I just watched today, I just got done watching Deepwater Horizon, which was also a request. And again, a lot of these requests I do, I don't know if you guys know how that works, but there's this one tier on my Patreon. It's one of the higher up tiers. And it's like, there's like a bunch of different tiers on my Patreon. You can see it probably, there should be a link in my description. I'm not sure if it's on, I can check right now actually. Oh shit, I have to change it. I changed my name on Patreon, and so I have to update the links because the link has the wrong name. So let me just update that so if people wanted to check it out, they could. But yeah, those Patreon request reactions, not all of them come to YouTube. It's only some of them do. So I feel bad about that because I know a lot of people want to watch a lot of those ones I do on there, and they don't want to get my Patreon to watch it, but I can't. There's just too many movies. I wouldn't be able to do all of those, like, to edit them and such. It would take way too long, and I just wouldn't have the time for it, you know? And, like, I guess theoretically I could do it, but then I just wouldn't be able to get to, like, any other movies, you know? Do you think The Walking Dead will bring back Rick for the last 2 minutes of the show? I'm hoping for the last 2 episodes at least, not just the last 2 minutes. It better be a couple, like, episodes that he's in it, or something like that. Have you been watching House of the Dragon? I haven't even seen Game of Thrones yet, so nope, I haven't. Do you ever need to poop during a live stream or while recording a reaction video? No. I mean, that's one of those things where it's like, you'll probably do it before. Like, you could feel it coming ahead of time. So if I did, I just wouldn't stream until I do. You know what I mean? I have done that before on a live stream on Twitch though for gaming. But those streams are so much more chill. Like, I could leave for 30 minutes and it wouldn't really be a big deal. But on these streams, I wouldn't want to leave for 30 minutes. Have you watched the Vikings? Nope. Who do you want to direct Avengers Secret Wars except for Russo Brothers? So Avengers Secret Wars, who would I want to direct it? That's a tough one, because obviously I'm not just going to list off my favorite directors, because obviously certain directors, A, I know would not do a Marvel movie, and B, their way of doing things might not work good for Marvel, because they have to be a good director, but also a good director within the confines of what Marvel movies tend to be. I'm getting emails from Elgato support. How do I turn off email notifications? I should probably do that because I'm gonna be getting a couple emails and shit there. I was talking to Elgato support because I needed help with my Elgato, which is a game capture thing to, you know, record video games with. But who do I want to direct it? I mean, I love James Wan's directing, and I think Aquaman is one of the best directed comic movies ever, but I don't know if he would be a great pick for like maybe, I don't know, because Secret Wars is gonna be really bombastic, crazy film with probably a lot of like interesting visuals and weird stuff, because that's just what Secret Wars is. So I could see James Wan working well with that, because he already did kind of do a very weird movie with Aquaman, so I would like to see that. I could see Sam Raimi doing it, I just don't know if he would. I could definitely see the Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, like, directing be good for that. So I'm gonna go with Sam Raimi or James Wan. Those are my picks for that. But I don't think it would be either of those. I'm expecting it to be like probably an existing Marvel director, so Sam Raimi is probably... I don't know if he would do... Because Sam Raimi was picked for Doctor Strange because of the horror aspect of it. I'm almost certain about that. So I don't know if you'd want to do like a big, like, crossover movie like that. I just don't know if that would fit well with him. I don't know. We know Daniel Destin Creighton. What is his name? Daniel something. Is it Daniel Destin Creighton? That's his name. Yeah, that he's directing the Kang Dynasty. So, which I think will be great. He did a really good job with Shang-Chi. So you're looking like Billy from Scream. Oh, because of the hair. Yeah, probably. So glad you're loving The Boys. Might be my favorite superhero show of all time. Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, I really am. I don't know if I like it more than Daredevil, but I do like it a lot. So, is it official you are starting Game of Thrones after The Boys and Daredevil? Most likely, yeah. I'm not 100% sure, just because there's so many shows I gotta do within the next few months. Because here's the shows I'm doing right now. So we got The Boys and Daredevil that we're still doing, plus She-Hulk, which is not that hard to do, so it doesn't really count because it's 30 minutes a week, whatever. Chucky and The Walking Dead returns next month, so those are 2 more shows I'm gonna have to do each week. Since we're about to finish Daredevil season 2, we're gonna do The Defenders soon. We're gonna probably do Jessica Jones. We're not doing Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Those are just going to be on my own, most likely. But still, it's a lot of shows there. And Andor comes out soon for Star Wars. I'm definitely going to react to that. So that's a lot of shows right there. That's like a shitload. So adding Game of Thrones on top of that would not be a good idea. Although I really want to start it now because it's popular right now because of House of Dragon. But I mean, shit, like that'll be a lot of shows at once, and it wouldn't be a good idea. So I might wait a little bit. I'm not sure how long, but we'll see. Maybe like November-ish, after The Walking Dead and Chucky are done, maybe. I would like to do it sooner, but like I said, there's just too many things. Just wait till you get to season 3 of The Boys. I am very excited. Any chance to react to 28 Weeks Later? Oh yeah, I think I am. Yeah. Not sure how soon from now, but we'll see. What do you think about Henry Cavill joining Marvel? I heard about that. I don't know who he would play, to be honest. I've been trying to think about it, and I don't have a good pick for him. I heard people saying Cyclops, but I don't think that. Cyclops shouldn't be like a big buff dude, I think Cyclops is better off as a skinnier dude, I think it just makes more sense. If Henry Cavill's going to be someone, it should be someone who is supposed to be really buff, Ride Along Duology with Ice Cube and Kevin Hart is a good comedy. That'd be kind of fun. I have heard of those. I haven't seen them, though. I personally find it easy to read people, not entirely because you never know what fully goes on in people's heads. Yeah, I think psychology makes it easier to read people because you learn like things about like body language and stuff. But at the end of the day, you're never gonna know 100% what's going on. Yeah. So it's not 100%. You can see someone who's completely normal. They look normal, like they act normal, everything, and they look fine. But then in the inside, they got a lot of shit going on. You never know. So I always go with don't ever unfairly assume things about people. I just don't think it's ever a good thing to do. I mean, you could have your judgments on the inside as long as you're not going to act upon it. Don't be like saying shit to the person. Like I'm sure people always do that. I mean, everyone subconsciously has their assumptions about people when they see them, but like I said, at the end of the day, you don't actually know. So I really like the game. I'm excited to watch it. What kind of music you like listening to now? There's a lot of type of music I listen to. I'll be honest though, my music taste is not really centered around a specific genre or artist, even though I do have my specific genres and artists I do tend to prefer, but my music taste is literally just anything that I have like an attached memory to that kind of brings me back to that moment, that sort of a thing. That's just how I like music. If I listen to it, like I usually get my music taste from movies. Honestly, a lot of times I'll watch a movie and I'll hear a good song in it and I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, and I listen to it enough to the point where every time I listen to that song again, it reminds me of a specific time that I first listened to it. And that's just kind of what happens. But in general, it's usually like 80s, 90s rock or the occasional, early 2000s like alternative rock. And that's usually what it is, to be honest. But there's a lot of other things I like listening to. I'll listen to movie soundtracks a lot of the time too. I'll literally sit in a car, drive somewhere for like an hour. I'll literally just listen to movie soundtracks the whole time. I have a whole ass playlist with a bunch of my favorites, and there's just they're great music. That's what I like. I'm not listening to newer music. I don't really listen to anything unless it's like again from a movie or something. But generally speaking, I'm not listening to like the current type of music that you tend to hear. So, which is why in my recent She-Hulk video, I had no fucking idea who Megan Thee Stallion was, and everyone's like, "How do you not know?" I'm like, "I never heard of her. I don't know." How old are you? 21. How tall? I think I'm like 6'1". I think. I honestly don't know. Last time I checked, I think I was 6'1". I've heard 6'2" also. Like it depends. I guess I'm wearing shoes or not. Maybe. Breaking Bad. Are you asking if I've watched it? Yes, I've watched it. It's incredible. So I don't have to react to it. But Better Call Saul, I haven't finished yet, and I don't know if people would be interested in me reacting to the rest of it. I feel like I've already seen some of it, so it's no point in me like reacting to it now. I don't know. But if people really wanted it, maybe. Don't Breathe is one of the most intense horror thrill ride movies ever. Well, that is good. Can't wait for Armageddon. I was gonna do it a while ago, but I think something came up and then I just ended up getting lost in my watch list somewhere. James Wan is a great pick. Thank you. He's my pick for a lot of things because he's one of my favorite directors. I don't think his like if I were to take my favorite directors and look at their like movies, their collection of movies, his movies aren't like that high on my list generally speaking. Like I really like The Conjuring. I really like Saw and Saw 2. No, he didn't do Saw 2. He just did Saw the first Saw, right? Didn't he just do the first Saw? He didn't do the second one. I think he just did the first one. Regardless, that's not that high. Insidious, I didn't even like that much to be honest. Malignant, I fucking loved. Malignant's like one of my favorite movies ever, but that's an exception. James Wan's Aquaman, I really loved as well. But like they're not like all of them are not like top of my list. But the thing about his directing style, it's always incredible. Like I don't care if I don't love his movie. Like Insidious, like I said, I didn't love, but his directing style I loved. Like that part of it I was obsessed with because his directing is just so fun and like just so inventive, and it doesn't do any sort of boring shots ever. Like I think it's okay. I don't think it's a bad thing when a movie is just like your typical like just focus on one character and then the other character's talking, focus on that character and the other character's talking, then focus back on the other character. Like that type of style I don't usually think is like, as long as the acting is really damn good and the story is really strong and the dialogue is so like there could be a lot of things that I love about it because of that. But at the end of the day, especially for a horror movie, I want to see some interesting shots. I want to see some things that really just elevate the intensity and do something that's even like if it's like tells like a visual story almost. Like I really like when things do that. And James Wan I think is really great at that. So I would love to see him do that. And I've always been saying if they do a Nightmare on Elm Street reboot, I want James Wan to direct it. After seeing Malignant, there's no way they can't have his like directing. No way his directing wouldn't work so damn well with a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, because Nightmare on Elm Street is all about creativity. It's all about visuals. That's a big part of Nightmare on Elm Street, right? Because you're in dreams, you're in the dream worlds. Obviously, dream worlds are going to be very creative and inventive because that's what dreams are. They're not supposed to mimic reality 100%. They're going to have some weird things. I mean, I've had many dreams where it's like you're like, and this is what I really want them to do more of those movies because there's so many things you can do with it. But like I've had a dream once where like my house, I was walking through it and then it turns into like a baseball stadium, and then I know where all my friends from school are there and they're at a baseball stadium, and we're doing like a graduation at a baseball stadium for some reason. It's like a bunch of different things in your life just kind of come together and mush. And I really think those movies could do a great job with using James Wan's directing in that story. So that's a tangent, but I would love to see him direct a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Most overrated actor, most underrated actor. I don't really think I have one for overrated because I don't really think there's any actors that I know gets a lot of praise and that I don't think is that good of an actor, to be honest. Like I just can't think of one. Like I can't think of one. Underrated though, that's another tough one. Acting is the thing. I feel like people don't usually shit on actors' acting abilities. Like I rarely hear people talking about actors being bad. Like rarely. I think I don't know. Like I hear about people shitting on like writing and directing and all that, but I rarely hear people being like, wow, that acting performance was terrible from this high known, well known actor. Usually if we're shitting on the acting, it's actors we don't know about. You know what I mean? So I can't even like think of an actor that people shit on that frequently for their acting abilities, because most of the time when they're shitting on acting, it's usually no names. You know what I mean? Like I can think of many movies that have shitty acting. Black Christmas is one of them. I didn't like the acting in it, the newer one, the one that recently came out in 2019. But I don't know any of those actors' names. I don't, because they're not really well known. Right? Some of them are. I think one of the main character was. I think she did a decent job. But most of the other people, I don't know. So, you know what I mean? So I don't really know if I have a good answer for that, to be honest. I'll just give you my favorite actors. I really love, obviously, the two people you're seeing on my screen right here, actually. Jeffrey Dean Morgan's cut off, but Andrew Lincoln, definitely one of my favorites. Who else? Tom Hanks is definitely up there. Leonardo DiCaprio, definitely. Sally Field, if we're going for an actress, I really like Sally Field. And I haven't seen one of her most popular movies actually. I think Miss Doubtfire. I think she's in Miss Doubtfire. She's definitely one of my favorite actresses. What else for actors? Samuel Jackson's definitely up there. He's always really great. He's more for the comedic side of things. He can do serious roles really good too, though. He's not just there for comedy. But Jamie Foxx is another one. I really like. Again, I like him a lot for his comedy too. But he has done some serious roles that is just incredible. I don't know. There's so many actors. It's hard to really pick your favorites. I don't know. I could sit here all day listing off actors and stuff, but have you ever had an idea for a movie, either standalone or part of a franchise, that you would really like for it to be made? Oh yeah, I can go about that all day long. I have so fucking many. It's like, it's not even funny, man. I can literally be listing off like thousands. I can't like go through a whole list of them right now, but like I said, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think if they were to do one, it should be this was my concept for one. What they should do. Um, this would be a boring title because titles are mainly about marketing. We all know that. You'd probably just want to call it The Nightmare on Elm Street instead of A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's marketing. You know, you want to make it similar to the original title as possible, just so it gets more attention. But at the end of the day, um, I would hate for it to have the same title. I hate when movies do that. Like Halloween, like there's 3 movies called Halloween. I hate that. Just add a subtitle or make it a different title. But I understand wanting to keep it as similar to it as possible, so it's for marketing, obviously. Um, but for the movie, I would set it in a college because we're used to seeing these slashers set in like high schools and stuff. I think they should do one in a college, and it centers around a character. This is just like random ideas. I don't really have a specific thing in mind, but this is kind of general idea. But it would kind of be like a, I don't want to say David Fincher like Seven type mystery thing, because you wouldn't be a great idea to make it all centered around the mystery because you kind of know what the mystery is. So what's the point of making it a mystery if we know what the outcome's going to be? But you should still have that sort of detective side of it where people are investigating what's happening with all these deaths, because yeah, it is a very crazy thing. I mean, people just dying in their sleep in these really crazy ways, like they're just slashed up. It's like, what happened? They're obviously going to assume it was a killer, but you could have some deaths where it's like there's no way to explain it, and you have the detectives being like floored. So that's like one side of the story. And then you can have maybe like the detective's child or something is in a university, and a lot of these killings could be happening in this university, or maybe around a couple different universities, and maybe all of them are obviously the children that were, with that lived on Elm Street and had the what do you call, altercation, I guess you can call it, with Freddy Krueger. And I don't know if I would do the exact same thing. Like, I didn't like what the remake did. I think a lot of people would agree with that. They didn't like what the remake did. They kind of made it just too much. I would stick to what the original was, but kind of make it more subtle. Don't like go, don't just straight up say exactly what he did to the kids, is what I'm saying, because that's too much for a lot of people. I think what the original did, making it subtle, made a little more sense and was a little bit less like nasty, at least for the viewer's experience. And I guess you can have all the kids. This is not like I don't have this written down. Like, this is literally off the top of my head right here from ideas I came up with in my head in the past. So I'm kind of just trying to itch them out of my brain again to kind of throw them out there. And you would have the different kids around these different colleges, and just like, I guess they're just dying, right? And the main character maybe starts putting it together. He's like, I kind of remember all these kids that are dying. That I remember them from my childhood. Why are they all dying? And he's trying to piece it together. He's trying to figure out what happened. And a really interesting idea I had for the opening of the movie, which I don't know why, this seemed really interesting to me. So he was the main character's in this class with this girl that he knew from when they were a childhood, and they're kind of focusing on the main character the whole time, and he's like kind of falling asleep. You kind of see him like oozing off, and he keeps going into like a dream state, and you see him in a dream. It's a nightmare, obviously. He's doing all sorts of nightmare stuff, and you can have some sort of a traumatic childhood experience that comes back to him in the nightmare. It could be something like that. I think that'd be the most interesting. But you're just so focused on this main character dealing with that. And then there's like a shot where he wakes up and he's like waking up by the teacher, and it kind of like zooms back a little bit, and you just see the girl that he knew. Like she's like sitting like this, like passed out, but you're not really focused on her because you're focused on the main character right there. And out of nowhere, you just see blood gushing out of her neck, like out of nowhere, and she's covering it up, and she just dies right there. And that's how the movie starts. Like, what the fuck happened? And everyone in the class is sitting there like, nothing happened. Like, nobody did anything to this girl. Blood started just coming out of her neck. A hole opened up, and then she was dead. And that's what the mystery starts with. And everyone's getting investigated, and they're all really confused because there's no way anyone could have done anything. But obviously, we know it's because of Freddy, and obviously that's something that gets revealed as the movie goes along, obviously. And I really had this cool idea as well, where you really want to emphasize the concept of Freddy only being able to get to you if you know who he is and you have a fear of him, right? That's the only way he gets to you. So by the end of the movie, the only person left who knows his name and knows his story is the main character. Everyone else has died, right? So the main character, like, realizes that. He realizes there's no one left. And then he starts to realize that's why Freddy's not trying to kill me. So then he kind of taunts Freddy. He's kind of like, I don't know. Hold on, I need a drink of water. My throat's killing me. Okay. I might even chew some gum, actually. If you've never done like a long form podcast thing like this, you don't understand what happens to your voice after you speak for like 40 minutes straight. It kills you. And you can only drink so much water. So like obviously water helps it, but you can only drink so much water before you just like you blow it up. So gum is usually the best thing for when you're talking for long periods of time. So the main character, I would make it a male. It could be a female though. It really could be either way. It doesn't really matter. But the main character realizes that by the end of the movie, and he taunts Freddy about that because he's like, oh, you're not going to kill me, because if you do kill me, then nobody will know who you are. Nobody will remember you, and you're just going to be, lost in the emptiness of the world. And so Freddy realizes this, but what he does, he knew this the whole time, but he does realize that he now knows that. But what he decides to do is to just make his life an ever-living nightmare. Every day. He can't kill him, but he will do whatever it takes to scare the living shit out of him in his dreams. So he's just gonna hope eventually he has to do something about it, and maybe the word gets out there that people will find out about him. Also, I really like the concept in the part 2 of Nightmare on Elm Street where Freddy can kind of like control you almost, and that's what the story was kind of about. It was like him trying to come out of the main character, and I kind of want to remix that in a way where you can like be controlled by Freddy in your dreams almost based on what's happening in like a dream walk. What is it called? Sleepwalking is the word for it. In like a sleepwalking sort of way. So my idea was there's like a scene where the character is in the dream and he thinks he's stabbing Freddy, but he's actually stabbing, like, let's say someone that was family members or something. That could be like his mom or dad or something. And that could be how the movie ends, where he realizes he's been stabbing like his mom or something, and it obviously kills him. But then maybe right after that, when he realizes that Freddy can't do anything about it, like he can't kill him, so he's just going to be stuck in this ever-living nightmare of hell, and he goes to jail because obviously the cops aren't going to believe him that, well, he can't even say anything. He can't say that it's Freddy or whatever. He just has to sit there with the fact that he just did that, and he's going to jail for it. And the sequel could start off with, in his sleep, he like spells out Freddy's name or something in blood, or like kills his cellmate or something because of, Freddy doing the the sleepwalking stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna go back to the questions because I'm just going on a tangent now. But that was your answer to your question. I like the question though. Do you think No Way Home was overrated? No. Depends. I didn't think it was like a perfect movie. And if people mostly thought it was perfect, then I guess I would consider it overrated, but I thought it was really good, so. Don't judge a book by its cover. I agree. If you love Friends, then you will probably love Seinfeld. I've seen a couple episodes of it. I think it is kind of funny. I just haven't seen the whole thing. Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't do a sitcom on the channel. I don't think there'll ever be a day where I do a sitcom on my channel. I know some people do, but I know some people do. Do you think Negan was right to kill Abe and Glenn after the group killed the satellite station? No, because a lot of people talk about that with the Negan situation. Like, they're like, oh, Negan was technically just doing what Rick would do. But you got to realize, why were the group going to kill the people in the satellite station? They were doing that because of what the Saviors did prior. The Saviors already had killed people. Not their own people, but they have killed other people in brutal ways, mind you. They've been stealing from people. They've been doing all sorts of things. So it's not like Rick and the group were just going to kill innocent people. They didn't do that. They killed people who were killers and stealers, right? But a lot of people forget about that, and they're like, oh, well, Negan was not in the wrong there because, you know, they killed people. He was just giving payback. But that's not really how it works, you know. But obviously I don't think he was in the right for it. Psychological thrillers are really fun to watch because you get to study what's going on and even be surprised by the outcome. I agree. If you do Armageddon, you should do Deep Impact 2, similar movies released in the same year. Possibly. I have heard of it, so. The guy who did Hereditary would probably be great for Secret Wars 2, but there's no way he would do it. Oh, there's no way Ari Aster would do a Marvel movie. I don't think I'd like him for a Marvel movie, actually, to be honest. I just don't think it would make sense. That sort of style I don't think would make for Avengers movie, no. I like Hereditary. I like it. It's a good movie, but I don't think that would ever work. His style would never work for Marvel, in my opinion. Do you think that The Walking Dead, unless it was like a... No, I just don't think it could. I can't think of a single character that it would work for, like a single story or something. Do you think that The Walking Dead was doomed from the start because there's no way that walker damage could ever be somehow restored? Like, there can never be a possible happy ending? No. I don't think they need a happy ending. I don't want a happy ending. Okay, no, I want a happy... Maybe like a happy ending, because the ending should be something either like the story's just done and they're just in a situation now where society seems like nothing else can go wrong. Obviously things could still go wrong, but it seems like it's okay. Like, I'm sure it's going to end with them overtaking Commonwealth and killing Lance, and they're all just in the community all happy now. Like, that's probably how it's going to end. Yeah, the zombies are still out there. Yeah, there's probably going to be more problems and more wars to fight down the road, but we're just not going to see it. And we'll just live with the assumption that we're not going to see the future stuff that does happen. Because obviously there's not going to be a cure or anything like that. And even if it was to be a sad ending, I've honestly toyed with the idea of it being a sad ending, and I don't think I would hate it. I think where we are now, it kind of has to be a happy ending. But I've always thought, like, I don't think I'd mind if a lot of characters died. I don't think everyone should die. Like, obviously, certain characters like Judith should not die, because she has to live for everything to make it worth, you know, like, make the show worth it. But, like Rick, for example, if he were to die, I would not be against that. I know a lot of people would. I wouldn't, if that were to be, like, the ending. Obviously, we know it's not going to happen because there's a whole spin-off and everything like that. But, like, I'm just saying, if they were to just end it with him dying, I wouldn't really be against that. As long as the show was ending there, too, you know? Are you going to see Avatar 2 in theaters? Yeah, most likely. Why do you put blinds in front of your screen on your Patreon site? It makes me dizzy. For legal reasons. I can't legally upload a full video to Patreon, a full movie to Patreon. Like, legally, that's just not... I'm sure people have done it. Like, I've said this a couple times, and people are like, well, this creator did it, this guy did it. Well, they're doing illegal shit. I don't even know how legal what I'm doing is, but I know it's at least less illegal than what they're doing. So I need to be safe about it. And I would not like to upload the full screen of the entire movie to Patreon. I know it's like a tiny thing in the corner, but I have to put something up so I'm not showing the full movie, or else that's not a good idea legal wise. So I'm just being safe, you know. A lot of people are not safe about that. I've seen many Patreon users just not give a shit, and I'm not trying to deal with that legal problem. So it's just how it has to be, unfortunately. I love the first Avatar. I highly recommend you check out the extended version of it along with T2 and The Abyss. I find James Cameron's director cut always better. Yeah, I haven't seen either of those director's cuts, so maybe I will. I'd like to check out the T2 director's cut. I don't think I've seen it. I don't think I watched it. Unless I did, unless the first version I watched was director's cut. I have no idea. Last Nightmare would be a decent title. My screenplay is centered around Kristen's daughter. Oh, that'd be interesting. For my idea, it would be a complete reboot, though. It'd be a completely new thing. Like, it wouldn't have anything to do with any of the prior things. Only because I'd like to have my own sort of rules for the universe. And that when you have, like, a bunch of other rules already, I don't want to have to deal with the consistency of that. But Last Nightmare, I mean, if you were to be, like, I feel like it's better for, like, a final film. But, yeah, that could be a good title. I think the extended cuts are only on DVD and Blu-ray. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't really go for Blu-rays and DVD because they're just expensive, and I have like every streaming service in existence, so most of the movies I want to watch are on there, you know. Sally Field was a missed out fire. I'd love to see a reaction to that and other Robin Williams classics. Possibly. I could see me doing Jumanji. I haven't seen any of those, to be honest. I haven't seen many Robin Williams movies. Please react to Hush. I've already seen it. What are you excited for this year, as in 2022? I'll be honest, the rest of the year is not looking that good for movies. Not like it's not looking bad, it's just there's not many that I'm that excited for. There's not a single movie left in 2022 that I'm extremely excited for, is my point, you know? There's a couple. Like, of course, new Marvel movie, new DC movie I'm gonna be excited for. I can't even think of what else is coming out the rest of this year. Halloween Ends, I mean, I'm not like crazy excited for. I'm gonna watch it, but yeah, there's not a single movie left for this year that I'm... Actually, I have a list. I'll look it up right now because there's a couple that I'm excited for. But like I said, none of them are like I'm crazy excited for. Okay. So Black Adam, Shazam was delayed, so no more Shazam. Halloween Ends. Oh, Glass Onion, Knives Out. The Knives Out sequel. I'm excited for that. Not like insanely excited, but I'm looking forward to the Knives Out sequel. Avatar 2, Don't Worry Darling, looks pretty good. I would normally not give a shit about a movie with Harry Styles in it. But, like when I first saw the first like images, honestly I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it's just like a movie that, you know, is for people who are insanely attracted to this man and just want to watch it for that. But I had no interest, but I saw the trailers and it looked damn good, so I'm excited for that now. Oof, I have Batgirl on my list, and that's not coming out anymore. That's unfortunate. Smile comes out in September. The trailers looked so freaking weird, and that got me excited. So those are a couple. That's really it, though. I can't think of many others that I'm not that excited for the rest of this year. 2023 is looking great, though. That's going to have a plethora of movies. Like, holy shit. It's going to be insane. But this year is not... There's not many movies left that are that interesting in my opinion, but I'm still gonna watch as many as I can, and I'm sure they can surprise me. I have an idea for a Batman horror movie. You follow the criminals and Batman is the antagonist of sorts. That could be really interesting. I like how the Batman, the recent one, kind of did that in the beginning, how it kind of felt like that a little bit. Love your idea for the film of Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Thank you, I appreciate it. That was just I just had a couple like ideas for some specific concepts. It wasn't anything too crazy. If I had the time, I would sit down and write a whole script for it, but right now I don't have the time for that. I could do that in the future though if I felt like it. Because I have a lot of ideas. I love getting them out there though, even if it's not something that I would, you know, do. I'm excited for Scream 6. That comes out next year, right? I think it comes out in March next year. I almost forgot that Sally Field is in the movie Lincoln, which is a Steven Spielberg film. That movie's on my list, so maybe I'll watch it. That has to be the coolest concept for a horror movie I've ever seen. Thank you, Aranza. Wait, there's going to be a new Nightmare on Elm Street? No, I was just giving my idea for one. But there might be one. I don't know. They might be planning one right now that I don't know about. Also, I would love a new Kick-Ass, which I think they are making one, but I've had some ideas for Kick-Ass as well because I love the Kick-Ass comics. Probably my favorite comics out there, actually. Actually, no, Walking Dead comics are a little bit better, but I'm not like a big comic reader either, so I can't really say that like I've seen that many to the point where my favorite comic would be that big of a deal because I haven't seen that many. Pretty good idea for an opening scene. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting concept. I honestly think about this shit like randomly. Like I think I'll just be out somewhere. I'll just like see something cool that reminds me of like some kind of thing, and I'll be like, oh, that'd be a cool like thing for this idea, you know? Like I think that opening scene that I thought of before, I think I thought about that in English class freshman year of college in my English class. I think I was sitting there and I thought about it there. I was like, you know what? That would be a pretty cool scene. I don't know why. I got bored of the class and I just started thinking about that. Are you considering watching some old classic horror movies? Depends what horror movie we're talking about. There's not many that I have on my list just because. It depends on what you mean by classic. Like, is classic to like the 20s and 30s, or we're talking 40s, 50s, or are we talking like 70s, 80s? You know, 70s, 80s definitely. There's a lot on my list, but if we go before 60s, no, there's like nothing on my list from that. I'm not opposed to watching them. I just don't think they get many views. So, thoughts on the potential title for Scream 6? The cast/crew chairs have it as Scream. Oh yeah, I saw that. The 2 exclamation marks. That is a cool title. I'm sure people would just call it Scream 2 though, but the title being that would be really cool. Even though I would prefer it being Scream subtitle, some subtitle, because then we can call it something different other than just calling it Scream 2, you know? Because then I gotta reaffirm it's the Scream 2 that came out in 2023 rather than the Scream 2 that came out in what, 1997 did it come out in? Whatever, a long time ago. I'm not huge on the idea that he can only attack people who fear him or know about him. I know that was Craven's idea, I think, but I'd mix it up a bit more. Yeah, I could see it working differently. The only reason I like that idea is because it makes him not as overpowered, I guess, because think about it. Like, if he could literally kill anyone, then, like, what's even the point of living? Like, if you knew this guy could just come in your dream any moment and just kill you, why doesn't he just kill everyone? I guess maybe it's he just wants to kill the people who wronged him, I guess, but I feel like he's a bit crazier than that. I feel like if he really wanted to, he would just go for everybody he could possibly go for. I don't know. But I guess it could work in different ways. The all fearing him thing, it does kind of feel like it's very similar to Pennywise, too. Maybe a little too similar to Pennywise. So I could see that being a problem. Did you ever review Maverick? Not yet. I'm gonna watch it probably tomorrow, actually. So I'll have a reaction up for that probably in the next few weeks. Speaking of Armageddon, 2 other Michael Bay movies I recommend would be 6 Underground and Pain and Gain. Haven't seen them, so maybe I'll add them to my list. You should watch the show Psych on your own one day. What's it about? Because I don't know what it's about. I've never heard of it even. I gotta remove this. Hide user on this channel. Any intention of doing reactions to James Bond films? Yes. I was thinking I'm gonna do the Daniel Craig ones for sure. The other ones, I don't know. I'm not sure, but the Daniel Craig ones definitely. Do you think or maybe wish that Morgan plus Fear characters would meet Rick in the group somewhere? Oh, they fucking better. That is my biggest issue with the Walking Dead universe. I'm gonna say it right now. Fear should have ended at season 6. It should have ended at the end of season 6, and it should have ended with them going to Alexandria or Commonwealth. Maybe Commonwealth would make more sense. It should have ended with them going there, and they meet a group. And then the Fear characters should have been a part of season 11. They should have been the entire season 11. That cast should have been there. One of the problems people have been saying with The Walking Dead recently is that there's not enough interesting characters anymore. All the good ones left, and the new ones they don't like. I'm okay with the new ones, but I'm just saying a lot of people don't. You bring the Fear characters into the fold, you could have a lot of interesting storylines. Like, There's a lot of great Fear characters. I don't love Fear the Walking Dead, but one thing about it, I do like a lot of the characters are pretty great. I would love to see Alicia or Morgan or I guess now Madison, a bunch of characters. They could meet our main cast, and I don't think we're ever going to see that now. It's unfortunate, but I don't know. What is the best trilogy of all time? In my opinion, I'd probably say the Dark Knight trilogy, maybe. One of my favorites. What do you think of films like American Psycho, No Country for Old Men, and Taxi Driver? I've seen American Psycho and I loved it. I haven't seen the other two, though. And if you want a movie that's similar to that, I guess, I don't know. I mean, if you want a crazy protagonist, go with Joker. Joker's a pretty good crazy protagonist movie, I guess. Or actually, you could watch the American Psycho sequel, which I would argue was one of the best movies of all time. I'm completely joking. It's not. It's not one of the best movies of all time. Are you going to react to Halloween Ends? Yes. Only because it's coming out on Peacock. The same day it comes out in theaters. Isn't John Wick releasing this year? I think it's releasing next year. How long have we been streaming for? Almost an hour, wow. Sorry, I had to burp. Did you hear Halloween Ends will now release on Peacock? Yeah, okay, that's what I just said. Yeah. Which is good. I don't really feel like seeing it in the theaters, to be honest. Have you seen Whiplash? Nope, but it's on my list. What was the first horror film you watched? Probably Child's Play 2. Which, I mean, that's weird. Why would you watch the second one? And I was a child. I didn't have the choice of what movie I was going to watch. I think I remember it so clearly. I was at my mom's friend's house, or like her apartment or something, and randomly they just put on Child's Play 2 to watch, and I was just sitting there and I watched. I was like 5 years old or something. So I think that was the first one I watched. And I definitely got into Chucky, so I really liked him, those movies when I was a kid. What do you think of She-Hulk so far? Not really crazy about it. But not in like a bad way, because I already said this when like at the first episode, I think. It's not that I don't think the show should be like that, because it makes sense. They're trying to make it like that. They're trying to make it like a TV comedy, like a 30-minute TV comedy thing, which is not even 30 minutes per episode. It's more like 25 minutes, but whatever. That's just not for me. I don't like that. I'm not interested in it. I don't think there's much depth to it. I don't think the characters are interesting at all. It just feels and the comedy's not even that good either. Like, that's my biggest problem, is that it's not even that funny. Like, if it's gonna be a comedy, it should make me like laugh a lot. But I feel myself like forcing laughs sometimes. Like, I don't like. I think it's funny when I first watch it, because I'm like, oh, that's a little funny. I do a little chuckle. But then I think about it. I'm like, okay, that was not funny. But that's my own personal humor. It's different than everyone else's, and that's fine. If people think it's hilarious, cool, that's fine. But I don't know. It's just not. I'm not enjoying it that much. I think you could do a lot more with She-Hulk. I haven't read the comics, but I do know a little bit about her character in the comics. I think it would be more interesting if it was more of a character study. It could be still comedic. It should be comedic. That is what She-Hulk is. But I don't feel like they did a good enough job of showing us who she was like before turning into She-Hulk. So I don't really know what to compare this version of her to, which is why I really like origin stories, because you get to see the character before they become the hero, and you get to see how it changes them. They don't really do that shit. They just kind of throw her in there, and she's like, oh, now I gotta be a Green Hulk person every now and then. And they didn't do much with it. They don't, it's a comedy. They're not trying to go for any groundbreaking writing or anything, but that's why I don't really like it that much. It's not interesting to me. I'm gonna keep watching it, but I don't know. I just think it's just so far kind of mindless Marvel action. Not even action, because there's really no action to it. It's just a lot of dialogue and stuff. I like the stuff they did with Abomination, some of it, I guess. It's an interesting thing that she had to do with the whole court case with Abomination. But then they had this whole side plot of this elf relationship thing, and I was like, why are we doing this? What's the point of it? I'm sure it might have a point later on, but it doesn't seem like it's worth spending 15 minutes of the episode on it. I don't know. It's just weird. And the people don't act like people in it, I swear. And this is not just this. I had this issue with Thor Love and Thunder. People just don't act like people. I don't know what it is. They just don't act like people. It's weird. I don't know. And I like Marvel a lot, so I'm not like a Marvel hater or anything. Like, I really like Marvel. I just think they have a couple things that they need to get their shit together on, you know? I had no idea how people are even supposed to pronounce Scream with 2 exclamation points. They'll probably just call it Scream 2. What are your thoughts on Tales of the Walking Dead so far? Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Josh. I am so glad you asked. I might make a video on it, actually. I've only seen the first 4 episodes, which, yes, I have watched the first 4 episodes. Not for the channel. Very glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have anything interesting to say about it, because I think it's the most pointless Walking Dead content I've ever seen. Now, this is no offense to the creators and stuff, because I can see there's talent there. There's definitely talent there. They're not like incompetent in what they're doing. The acting's pretty fine all around too. But their stories they're telling, I don't give a living shit about them. Okay, so I'll give you a little rundown as to what the show's been like so far, in case you haven't watched it, because I don't think a lot of people are watching it. The first episode was a story with Terry Crews, which is a fantastic actor that I really like, and he was definitely the best thing about this entire show so far, easily. It was about him and some other lady who, they're on this mission to find this like girl he's been talking to or something. I shouldn't actually say too much because I'll actually spoil it for people who want to watch it, but whatever. Something happens, and the episode itself was like, I liked the last like 10 minutes. I thought it was a little interesting, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. Most of it was just pointless dialogue about life. And I don't know, it wasn't that interesting. I like Terry Crews though. He was funny. Second episode was, I think, one of the worst things I've seen in The Walking Dead, because it wasn't even, you can't consider it canon to The Walking Dead. Now, it's tried something new, sure. If you like really ambitious things, sure. But I'll just say what it is. It's a Groundhog Day episode for The Walking Dead. You know the Groundhog Day movie and like that type of plot line? I love those movies. I do. But why does that make any sense in The Walking Dead? It doesn't. Like, now, I don't care if it's like, you know, it could be like an all in their head sort of a thing, but that doesn't even make sense because it's 2 characters. How can you have 2 characters dealing with the same hallucinations about life? Because that doesn't, our minds aren't interconnected like that. So you got to go with the assumption that, okay, it actually is the world resetting every time they die. How does that make any sense in The Walking Dead? I don't know. And it wasn't entertaining either. It takes place at the same location every minute of the episode. Same locations. They're not very interesting locations either. The like situations they get put in, it's a lot of it was comedic value. Even the first episode was, a lot of it's about comedy. I don't think comedy works in The Walking Dead. This is a dark series. I want more dark stuff. I don't want this like lighthearted, like fun, I don't know, it doesn't fit it, in my opinion, the universe. It's fine if they want to do it. I'm not like saying they shouldn't have made this show. I just think for me it makes no sense for me to watch it because it's not interesting. Episode 3 was a backstory for Alpha, but it literally did nothing interesting with her character, in my opinion. Not a single thing was like a new piece of information. Some of it was new, but the new information I don't even think I liked. I think it was some weird stuff, and it kind of loosened her significance, in my opinion. And then episode 4 was this whole episode about like nature, and this crazy guy who was like, oh, we gotta restore nature. We gotta let walkers kill people because that's how nature intended. And it was just really over the top character, and again, nothing that interesting happens with it. And the budget's low. You can tell it's really low. So the locations are boring. The sequences are really not inventive. I don't like it. I'll just say that right now. I do not like it. But I'm okay with its existence. And if you're loving it, that is awesome. I'm really happy you're enjoying it. But I don't like it. I'm gonna review or rank every Walking Dead season from worst to best, like Walking Dead universe season, all 21 of them or some shit now. You got Fear the Walking Dead seasons, you got 7 of those, you got Walking Dead up to 11, you got World Beyond, and you got Tales of the Walking Dead. After season 11, I think I'm gonna rank every single one of them. And I can tell you right now, I think Tales of the Walking Dead is probably going to be in the last place, or at least the last 2 places. It's gonna be low. I'm not liking it. There's 2 more episodes. I really doubt it's gonna do much more for me. I don't like it so far. And to add on top of that, it's an anthology series for a show that is so centered around its characters. 40 minutes is just not enough time for me to care about these characters, especially because they don't really they're not really speedy. They're kind of slow episodes. So you don't get much development from them. I don't have any time to care about them. I just don't. So there's a lot of problems with it. I appreciate that question though, because I actually really wanted to talk about that, but I kind of forgot about it. You guys should check out Prisoners from 2013. I didn't yet, but I can see it's becoming one of your favorite films you've reacted to on the channel. I didn't watch Prisoners yet, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm excited to watch it, but I haven't seen it yet. Have you played the Telltale Walking Dead games? Yes, and I love them. I really do. Season 1 and 2 especially. I like season 4 too. Season 3 was, I think, okay. It just felt kind of weird. The best. Love your channel and your reactions, and thank you so much for these live streams. Gotta go now, but keep the great content coming. Thank you so much. Wid Rofra. I don't know if I said your name right, but I tried. Thank you. Do you think the MCU is putting out too much content? No, but I think they're not putting enough time and money into their projects that they are putting out. So I think it's okay. Like, I don't think the problem with too much content is not that we're having too much content. The problem with too much content is that you're not giving the special effects artists and everything enough time to actually make it good, you know? So that's my thing about content. If they can, make the show as good as they can in the time that they're given, then I don't care. Put as much content as you can. But I have no issue with there being like 4 movies. I don't think 4 movies a year is too much, and like 3 or 4 shows. I think that's fine. Do you hear there might be more Fear Street movies? Yeah, they are. They, I think, confirmed that. Thoughts on Beavis and Butthead Do America? Never seen it. What movie that you watched gave you nightmares? I mean, I've seen scary movies that scared the shit out of me, but I don't know if they specifically gave me nightmares. Sinister is one of the movies that definitely scared the shit out of me. What else really scared me? I mean, obviously, when I was a kid, they scared me more. They don't scare me as much now. Some movies are more like shocking than they are scaring. Like Hereditary is shocking. Is it really scary? In my opinion, not really. It's more shocking. Movies that are based on true stories, I think, scare me more than anything, actually. Especially when you look up the fact that it's based on a real story after. Then I'm like, oh. But I'll go with Sinister. That one scared the shit out of me first time I watched it. Is there any show you're gonna watch after The Boys season 3? I would like to watch Game of Thrones, so that should be soon. Or that should be after The Boys, yeah. I can't promise it's gonna be right after The Boys. It might be sooner. It might be later. I don't know. Have you seen the movie Little Miss Sunshine? Nope. Where do you live? How many family members do you have? I might as well give you my whole social security and my credit card information at that point. I live in the United States. That's all the information you're getting. Do you see yourself reacting to Mel Brooks movies like Spaceballs? I've already seen Spaceballs, actually, but I haven't seen Young Frankenstein. Are you gonna dress up for Halloween? Yes, but I don't know about if I'm gonna dress up for like the channel or anything. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything for the channel for it, but I do know I'm going to most likely, it's not 100%, but most likely be Anakin Skywalker. And my girlfriend might be Padme. We might do that sort of a thing. That'd be fun. I think that's like a cool sort of like couple dress up thing to do. So we'll probably end up doing that. Too much MCU movies kind of forces them to split the resources. That's true. which is unfortunate, but I feel like it shouldn't be because like they have so much money, you know, like they should have enough money for it. I don't know why they wouldn't put more towards it. The Tales episode from today had a cool Easter egg connecting to The Walking Dead, but terrible episode overall. Is that episode 5? Because I haven't seen episode 5 yet, but not looking forward to watching it. Tales feels so boring because the characters probably won't matter in the future. Oh yeah, they won't matter. That is like I said, that's true. Because I don't care about learning about them because I know we're just gonna end it there anyways. And they don't structure the episodes in a way where it's like interesting story. Like, okay, they could have done an anthology series and it could have been really damn good. And I think the best way to do that would either be more backstories of characters we know, like, and do it actually interesting backstories. I don't think the one they did with Alpha was that interesting. But you could do ones with, I'm sure it's just a matter of getting the actors available. I'm sure they'd like to do more with other characters that already exist, but they probably just couldn't get the actors available. But I'd love to see Governor backstory. I'd love to see other characters like Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, and like their little things before they met our group. Like I love a lot of that stuff. That'd be kind of cool. But with these new characters, they could still do something interesting with it. You have to make the situation that characters are in really interesting. Like, I don't know, have some story centered around like a serial killer who like traps people in their house and like does some weird shit with like, I don't know, maybe like a saw, like jigsaw like thing. You could do so many interesting storylines where characters are put in really tense situations. But I just don't feel like any of the episodes did that. They're all kind of just like, okay. Episode 1 had a cool idea towards the end of it, but didn't really go anywhere. So, I don't know. Tales of the Walking Dead felt like Marvel Disney got involved. In a way, because of the comedy, kind of. Like, they got Marvelified with the whole comedy. And I think the Marvel comedy is sometimes really funny, but... and really, like, fine, and it fits, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's forced. And I like comedy when it's, like, organic, too, you know? I don't like when it feels like it's, like, just dialogue for the sake of making a joke, you know? What are your favorite Tarantino movies so far? Django Unchained and Inglourious Bastards would definitely be my top 2 Tarantino movies. By far. I think they're the best to me. They're just the most interesting. I think they have the best performances. I think they have the most... they're both centered around, like, points in time that are, like, in a way exaggerated. No, actually, yeah, they're definitely exaggerated in how they do, like, a lot of over-the-top things within that time period, but they're still centered around very real things in time, which I guess, I don't know if that's a good way to explain it. I guess it is for Inglourious Bastards and Django Unchained. I was looking at Letterboxd and looking at upcoming movies and find Call of Duty. There was one that was announced, but I don't know if it's rumored, I guess is a better word for it. I don't know if it was actually announced. Your videos always make my day better when I'm having a bad day and I just watch your video and I forget my problems. I keep up the great work, man. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. It really does, hearing comments like that. But I hope the bad days get better, you know? She-Hulk twerking. Yeah. I didn't really have a problem with that. I just thought it was, like... it didn't do anything for me. I was just kind of like, okay, I didn't laugh, you know? But I wouldn't say the episode was bad. Like, some people are giving that episode, like, a bad ratings just because of that. And I'm like, that's not fair. Like, giving a whole episode a shit score just because that one ending scene, that's a little dumb. That's a little dumb. I had a lot of other issues with that episode beyond just her twerking for 30 seconds. Do you like Hellraiser movies? I haven't seen a single one, so I don't really have an opinion on that, but I do plan on watching them, actually. When is the new one coming out, actually? Because I heard about it, I just don't know what's coming out. I'll probably watch the original when the new one comes out, like right before it. You gotta watch American Horror Stories. I've been thinking about it, yeah. I'm not sure if I do it for this channel or not, though. I have seen Breaking Bad, it's incredible. I should just do a top 10 TV shows at this point because a lot of people ask if I've seen Breaking Bad, and it's one of my favorite shows, so yeah. Ko as burnt Anakin, yeah, that'd be great. Did you watch the first couple episodes of Rings of Power? Nope, not yet. Were you traumatized seeing Child's Play 2 at such a young age? The only thing that traumatized me about it was the scene where he comes, I want traumatized isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. When he comes behind the dude in the car with the plastic bag, for like at least 6 years after seeing that, I would always check behind me in my car. And not, it wasn't my car, my dad's car. Wasn't driving when I was 10 years old, but I would always check the back seat to make sure there wasn't something back there. Because I was like, you never know. That motherfucker might be back there, might be trying to get me with that plastic bag. So when I was little, my great aunt let me and my twin watch the first one with her during a storm. We panicked when the power went out. I would too. Holy shit. Am I late? A little bit, because I am going to be ending this probably in like 20 minutes. But that's, you're never too late. You're never too late. Never mind. You can't possibly be late, especially when VODs exist. You can just watch the VOD. I hope Amazon comes out with more R-rated shows like The Boys, even without superpowers. They've got great writers over there. Plus, Jeff Bezos can pay for anything. Yeah, I love more R-rated shows. R-rated content in general, I tend to like more. What's a good movie to watch tomorrow, Labor Day? Most times I work. I need a good one. A good movie to watch tomorrow. It's hard to say because, like, I don't know what movie you've seen, you know? I just say go to, like, Letterboxd and just look at the highest rated movies or something, you know? Just try to pick one that's, like, highest rated, I guess. Does Ezra Miller need to be recast after the Flash movie? That's up to DC. I'm not the person making that decision. I think Ezra probably should be recasted, but I don't know. I'm still excited for the movie. I don't care. Like I'm not the type of person to just lose excitement for a movie because of one actor in it. You know what I mean? Like there can be terrible people in the movie, like one person. Like I'm not gonna just not want to watch the movie anymore. I am so excited for The Flash, regardless of that. You know what I mean? I think, will Ezra be recasted? Probably. But does that mean the movie can't still be really damn good? I don't know. Especially after I just heard on Discussing Films, the news or whatever came out and said apparently it's like the highest rated movie from the early screeners since like The Dark Knight or some shit, which that could be an exaggeration. I don't know. I don't care. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, so I'm looking forward to it. What's your Letterboxd? I'll put a link in the description because I don't have one currently. Profile. Okay. I used my name. I'll probably change it, but I have my other channel's name. It's not this channel's name, so that's probably why. I put it in the chat. That's probably why some people can't find it, because if you put my Movie Fusion, you're not going to find it. You might actually. I don't know if it'll still come up. Who is your favorite director? Christopher Nolan. Easily. I might do a favorite director's... No, I was going to do a favorite director's video, but then I was like, I still got to see more movies before I make that decision. You know what I mean? Like, I still haven't seen a single Martin Scorsese movie. How can I possibly do a favorite director's video without having seen any of the movies from one of the highest, praised directors out there? You know what I mean? So I'll probably wait a little bit. But currently, from what I have seen, Christopher Nolan, definitely. Then probably Steven Spielberg would be up there. James Wan, James Cameron, M. Night Shyamalan, I gotta say. I know a lot of people don't. Frank Darabont, too, definitely. Have you seen The Cube? Nope. Have you seen Bodies, Bodies, Bodies? Nope. I probably will wait for that to come out online. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I don't think I'm gonna see that in theaters. What kind of villains would you want to see in Matt Reeves' Batman sequels, and who would you cast as them? Definitely Mr. Freeze more than anyone. And I think everyone and their mother is saying Juan Carlo Esposito as Mr. Freeze. And I think I would agree with all of them. I think I do want him to be Mr. Freeze. I could see a lot of other people as Mr. Freeze too, but I'm just gonna go with him as Mr. Freeze because I mean he would be a amazing Mr. Freeze. I would love to see Poison Ivy. Who would be a good Poison Ivy though? Honestly, Uma Thurman could still do it, but I think they could definitely get someone else. Like maybe who would be a good Poison Ivy? Maybe like a Samara Weaving or something. I don't know. She'd be a great Harley Quinn too if they wanted to put Harley Quinn, because I know we're gonna see Joker in that soon. But then we're gonna have 3 Harley Quinns at once. We're already having Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn in the Joker sequel, and we're gonna have probably still have more Margot Robbie movies. So I don't know. 3 Harley Quinns at once might be too much for some people. It wouldn't be for me. I take as much Harley Quinn as I can get, but some people might be like, this is too much. Would you ever react to any more old movies? I know your Psycho reaction got a lot of people in the comments mad, but there are really a lot of great old movies. Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I remember that video, yeah, because I think I said I prefer not watching older ones, and some people were like, oh, why wouldn't you give them a chance? It's not that like I wouldn't watch them. It's just more so like I tend to not prefer, like I tend to not enjoy them as much just because they're older. Because of a lot of, things. There's not a lot of old movies I've really loved, like if we're talking before like the 70s, I mean. And I also don't think they're as reaction worthy. Like I think this is a big like thing I gotta point out is that there's a difference between like a good movie and like a reaction worthy movie. Because a movie could be amazing, like incredible, but it could be terrible for a reaction. So no one's gonna watch my video. You know what I mean? And it might not be an interesting video either. Like There Will Be Blood was a pretty solid movie I watched a few months ago. I did a reaction to it actually. It was for the Patreon request, but I didn't bring it to YouTube. I didn't think it was very reaction worthy. I didn't really say much during the movie. I kind of just watched it because there was a lot of just chill stuff happening. It wasn't like there was too many big moments. Towards like the end, it was a little bit more, but there wasn't many moments where I really felt like I had much reaction. Great movie, loved it, but it wasn't like a reaction worthy movie. And I feel like a lot of old movies are also like that, where you can appreciate it for what it is and all that, but you're not going to be sitting there going like, holy shit, like you're not going to be doing your typical reaction type thing that you do in your reactions. So I don't know if they would make for good videos. I think Psycho did because there was more of a conversation around it. There's definitely other old movies I can see me doing in the future, but I'm not sure yet. It has to be like a one that's popular and a lot of people talk about. And like one that I'm thinking about is 12 Angry Men. A lot of people talk about 12 Angry Men all the time. I've been hearing a lot of praise for it. That's one I could do. I don't know how old that is though. I'm not sure when that came out exactly, but I know it's a lot older. But I don't know about other ones. Like if we're going before the 60s, probably not. I wouldn't be expecting movies before the 60s. I don't think many people on YouTube react to movies older than that, I just don't think a lot of people are going to be watching that. I would still like to watch them. I just, for the channel, I don't know. Depends. We need more Del Toro. What has he directed? I know a couple of things he's directed, but have you seen Zodiac? Nope, but it's on my list. Maybe Two-Face? Yeah, some people are saying Two-Face should be played by Oscar Isaac. Or no, John Bernthal. It was another one that could be good for that. Hope they introduce the Court of Owls in the Batman. I think there's been some rumors about that actually. Emily Blunt would be a great Poison Ivy. Actually, yeah. I don't know if she would do it, but she'd be great. What about Psycho 2? I actually have been wanting to watch Psycho 2, so that is one I could possibly do for the channel, yeah. That one came out in the 80s though, right? You should watch Wreck. I think I've heard of that. But I don't know what it's about. 12 Angry Men, yeah. So I'm just holding this what do you call it, these bracelets, and it kind of broke. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm just I'm just gonna lay it here. I'll clean that up after. The beads went everywhere. If you're hearing beads clamping on the floor, that's what happened. Yeah, I'll pick some of them up right now. Oh, and they're falling. And they're falling. Oh well. Would you consider yourself a book reader? Not really. I have read some books in the past, but I'm not like a big book reader. I wouldn't call myself a book reader. Like you cook a couple meals, you call yourself a chef, you know, I don't know. So I don't think I'm really a book reader, but I've read a couple. As in like in my free time. I'm not gonna count a book I had to read for school. I don't think that counts. Are you gonna post the usual suspects to YouTube? I think it's reaction worthy, especially the end. So that movie, I don't think I posted it because I think the only part that I felt like was reaction worthy was the end. I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't really say much until the end. So I don't know if it'd make for a good video, and that's why I never posted it. I still have it saved, and I'm always gonna have it saved because I always change my mind in the future. And so I'm just like, just to be safe, I'll keep it just in case I change my mind. But right now, I don't think I will, but you never know. Maybe I can do like clips of it, you know, like maybe I can post like just the end part to my other channel or something, just for people who want to see my reaction to the reveal at the end and stuff like that. That could be cool. All right, I'm about to end the stream probably in 5 minutes. So if you have any last minute questions, definitely get them out as soon as you can. And we'll be ending it up real soon. Do you excite about... Are you excited? I think here's what you meant to say. Are you excited about Avatar 2? Because James Cameron has a track record to make greatest movie sequels. I'm really excited for it, yeah. Not like, you know, over the top insanely excited for it, but I'm excited. Favorite Tarantino movie? I said this before, but Django Unchained for sure. I've been trying to watch all of Anthony Perkins' filmography, and he has a lot of good movies. Sad he was typecast so much after Psycho, though. Oh yeah, that happens a lot with people, right? They get like typecasted after like really big, like impactful roles. That is sad to see though, because a lot of people have more range than that, you know. Are you continuing with Chucky when season 2 comes out? Yes, I am, yeah. I saw the trailer. I watched the trailer when it first came out, and honestly, the trailer didn't do anything for me. Like, I don't think it was a very good first trailer. I think that was one of the, like, they had really good marketing for season 1. The season 2 trailer, maybe it was because Chucky was barely in it, but it didn't do anything for me. I didn't get that excited for it because of that trailer. I'm still looking forward to it, but I just don't think the marketing team did a great job with their trailer. I think it was just because there was barely any Chucky in it. They had like 3 little clips of Chucky in it, I think. They should have put a little bit more. But I'm still looking forward to it. I think there's definitely a lot of more story they can tell with Chucky, and I'm looking forward to it. Oppenheimer looks incredible with it. True story on the splitting of the atom. Nolan will be the first to shoot IMAX black and white. I'm really excited for it as well, yeah. Just because I really like Christopher Nolan. Still plan on making any Friends videos, rankings, or whatever. I want to do like a full-on like Friends like retrospective like analysis of the whole series, but that would take a long time because I don't know. I have so many things to say about that series, but right now, probably wouldn't expect it anytime soon if I were to do it. A ranking would be interesting, like character rankings maybe. I don't know. If I were to do character rankings, like let's say the main 6, right? The main 6 characters. I could not for the life of me rank those 6 characters because my favorites are like it changes every season. Like there's certain seasons where some of them are better than others, and then other seasons, you know what I mean? Like I can't choose between 5 of the characters. I can confidently say Phoebe's my least favorite. I apologize to the Phoebe fans. I like Phoebe, she's great, but I don't like her. I know I don't like her better than any of the other 5. But as for the other 5, I think I like them almost equally. In terms of like them as a character, not as a person. Obviously, if we're looking at them as a person, it's very different because I don't like ranking people like that. I never enjoy ranking characters like that because to me it's stupid. You're going to put the heroes at the top and the villains at the bottom. Okay, like, you know what I mean? Like the people who are good at the top, that's just no fun. So I rank it based on how good of a character I think they are, how interesting they are, how well acted they are, and everything. You know, I feel like I'd probably say Ross because I probably laugh the most from him because he gets in the most crazy situations throughout the series that I think is just funniest, and David Schwimmer just is so incredible with his acting. So I would say probably Ross. But at the end of the day, like I could also think of Chandler having a lot of great moments. Same with Joey. Same with Rachel. Same with Monica. I think Rachel has the best development. So I'd probably say Rachel is the best developed character because she goes on a fucking journey to the end of the series, in my opinion, at least. She's a very different person by the end of the series. But I don't know. Phoebe's got a lot of good stories too. I just don't think she's as interesting as the others, though. She's a little too crazy for me, I think. Which people love that, but like it's a little much. She had a whole episode where she genuinely believed that her cat was like had the spirit of her like her grandmother in it, and she was like treating the cat like it was a grandmother. I thought that was a little. I was like, what is happening, Phoebe? Come on now. Favorite David Fincher film? Seven. I've only seen a couple of his films though, so I can't really speak upon his other movies yet. Since you have seen Breaking Bad, would you consider doing a Better Call Saul? I've seen some of it. So I talked about this earlier in the stream. I've seen some of the show. I've seen like the first season. So I don't know if it makes sense for me to do reactions to the rest of the series because I kind of want to watch this series like now. I want to do it as soon as I can. But I have so many other shows on the plate. So part of me is like, maybe I should just watch it on my own time. I like having shows to watch on my own time too. I don't want to do all of them for the channel because I don't have enough time for that. So I would like a show or two that I can just watch on my own, you know? Yeah, I don't remember the trailer, and I did a video on it, but I really like season 1, so please season 2 would be good. Yeah, I agree. I did a video on it too. I really remember it too. I remember not liking it that much. I remember it not doing much for me. Like it didn't increase my excitement. Like season 1 had some fire trailers, but I don't know. Season 2's ones, I didn't think it was that good. But I think I have faith in it though. I think Ames, why do I want to say AMC? It's MCU. I think MCU isn't putting out too much content, but I think the CGI is getting worse, maybe because of the amount of content. So maybe they are focusing more on quantity than quality. These damn beads keep falling off my table from this wristband. Not wristband. I keep calling it a wristband. It's a bracelet, which I guess is a wristband the same thing as a bracelet? No, wristband's a type of bracelet, right? I don't know. But yeah, no, MCU, maybe they should focus more on the quality. I mean, there's different people working on the different projects, so it's not like it's the same person working on every project, but I don't know. Finally, someone said Ross. Yeah, people hate on Ross, man, but I think a lot of people hating on Ross, it's because they're hating on him as a person, because he does do some weird-ass shit in the series. Like, don't even get me started on that one. I don't want to spoil the show for some people, but there's some stuff that he does. It's just like, what the fuck are you doing, Ross? Like, but he's hilarious though, so I don't give a shit. He's hilarious. Have you seen The Boys? I've been reacting to it, so check out the channel. I've watched up to season 2, episode 4. Maya Hawke as Poison Ivy. Holy shit, that's brilliant. Is that brilliant? I think it's brilliant. I think she'd be good. It make perfect sense. You know, it's the daughter of Uma Thurman, so why not? I've been enjoying your reactions to your favorite or soon to be favorite TV shows and movies. It does brighten up my day, especially when you don't base any film on what others say. Thank you so much, Augustus. I appreciate it. But that is exactly what I do. Yeah, I'm never gonna base my liking of things off of what others say. I don't find that to be enjoyable at all. That would just be kind of boring. A lot of people do that, and I don't know. Which is why I want to do a top 10 like underrated movies video or something like that, because I want to talk about the movies that people despise that I love. It'd be kind of fun. The Boys is top tier. I agree. Okay. Last call for questions. I'm gonna end this in probably a minute. So, last call. I'm watching Daredevil for the first time as soon as you release. I'm watching Daredevil for the first time as you release the reactions. How soon will you be watching the final season? So I think I'll be. It really depends because I'm gonna watch The Defenders first, and I'm probably gonna start that really soon. So I'll give you a little estimate. I'll probably be starting the final season of Daredevil in like November or something. I know that sounds like so long from now, but if I gotta watch Defenders plus all the other shows I'm watching, plus all the other movies, plus probably Jessica Jones, which I don't think I have to finish it before I start Daredevil, but still, I'll have to watch that at some point. Probably not going to be on Daredevil until, like I said, probably November. So just, I don't want to wait that long either, but it has to happen. So who do you think the new Black Panther is? Do you think it would be amazing if it's Shuri or maybe Killmonger? I think it's either going to be Shuri or Killmonger. I don't want it to be Killmonger because I don't like the idea of characters coming back after they're basically dead, you know? So I don't know. I think it could be cool if it was Shuri. I don't know. I would be okay with that. Favorite episode, season of Friends. Favorite season, probably season 5 or... I kind of forget like which seasons had my favorite episodes. Season 10 is really good too. But I know season 5 in particular is hilarious. Because season 5 is where Ross is unhinged. Like, Ross is unhinged in season 5. He's at his lowest point in his entire life, and he's just so crazy in that season. Like, he does some just crazy shit. So I like season 5 a lot because of that. Season 6 is pretty good too. Season 7. I think any season... They're all really great. Like, I don't think there's a single season I don't like. Season 1 is definitely my least favorite. But I think it just gets better and better. I'm not sure if I like season... Is season 9? What happens in season 9? Oh, season 9 is really good too. Yeah. I don't know. I like them all. I can't really rank them. There's just too many good seasons. But probably season 5 just because it's just there's a lot of crazy shit that happens. It's really funny. Favorite non-MCU superhero, i.e. one in the comics that's not in the movies yet. Oh, well, when you said favorite non-MCU superhero, I thought you just meant like not in the MCU. So could I say like Logan because he's not in the MCU yet? Would that count? He's in other movies, but he's not in the MCU. I like Logan a lot and Batman. Batman's never coming to the MCU, so I could, you know. But yeah, I'd probably say Logan or Batman if we're not including MCU. I vote M'Baku for Black Panther. Yeah, I don't think it would be him. He's more buff. I feel like the Black Panther suit, I don't know if it would fit someone who's a little more buff, you know? Even though I know they could just get a new suit for him. It's not a big deal, but... he would be cool as it, though. Go with Conan. Oh, Conan the Barbarian. Is that what it's called, right? Yeah. Season 5 is my fave, too. Governor or Shane as a character. I think I prefer Governor, maybe. They're both kind of on equal. I don't know. I might like them equally, actually. I don't know. What do you think about the smarter and faster walkers being introduced now in the Walking universe? I think it's a little lazy in terms of like writing decisions because it's like their last... I feel like it is a last-ditched effort to get people interested in the final episodes. They could have done something else, but I feel like they also, if they were going to do this, they should have done it a long time ago. You know what I mean? Why the Ross talk? Because Ross is the man, that's why. Yeah, with the leather pants. That was in season 5, right? That shit was hilarious. Which character made the story better in the show? Yeah, no, I don't know, though. Like, the Governor and Shane are both really solid characters, so it's hard for me to say, you know? All right, I think I'm gonna end it here. In terms of upcoming videos, I think tomorrow, I don't know what I'm gonna upload tomorrow, actually, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna get... It might be the next episode of The Boys, possibly Mission Impossible. That might be Tuesday, actually. Disney Plus days soon, so we'll do the whole MCU thing. I'll do probably reactions to whatever trailers they release. Might do a live stream for that too. We'll see. And go check out my other channels too, because I have a bunch of videos I'm going to be posting there as well. So I will see you all later. Have an incredible rest of your day. Peace out.